guys, it's I believe Thursday morning, October 13th. Back out here for a few hours this morning and maybe early afternoon. It's supposed to rain today, so I'm not sure if I'll make it much of the day, but had the morning off or the day off, so back to a few cellar holes. Here's my first find about 15 minutes in. I got a few shotgun shells, things of that nature, but this is the first decent one of the day. Oh, nice old flat button, single shank, and that would place that early to mid 1800s, and I'm not exactly sure what the design is on that. I'll have to clean that up for you, and I'll give you a shot of it after I toothpick it and toothbrush it off. Okay, let's go find something else, guys. Hopefully we can get a few other goodies here before the rain starts. Well, here's something a little bit different. Rang up really high tone, and it was large, but I decided to dig it because you never know. Look at that. An old bell with a strap on it. Clacker gone. This looks more modern, you know, it's more modern than the older Conestoga bells, but I wonder, I'm not exactly sure what this bell would have gone to, if it was still part of a, you know, horse and buggy kind of thing or not, or from an old car, you know, I'm not exactly sure. This house site was from way back in the 1800s, but there were people living here into the early 20th century, so I'm not exactly sure what that could be and what that could go for. Any ideas, give me a holler. But I'll probably keep that. It's a little heavy, but just interesting nonetheless. Okay, let's go find something else, guys. Well, this is kind of weird. I want you guys to tell me what you think this is. Got a mid-tone target. Pull this out of the hole. See if I can get that to focus there. Brass piece. It's got a tip on the end, and look, it's got wood on the inside of it. I'm thinking that is the tip of a walking cane. I want to brush that off and maybe I can get a cleaned up shot. It may just be plain being a tip, but that's what I think. If you guys got any ideas on that, let me know. But hey, good first find. I'm at this cellar hole right here, and we'll kind of go through here. There's a lot of conifer trees in here, so a lot of pine needles, so it'll be kind of deeper targets. But hey, I've only been here 5 minutes, and I've got a little doodad there. So let's go on to the next target, guys. Let's find something else. Okay, everybody, here on my next target. Literally about 2 minutes later, that's where I dug that little, what I think is cane top. And I've just been kind of messing around in here. It looks like the side of the front yard. And literally about 2 minutes later, I got another decent little target, and this is kind of cool. It's not a coin, but check it out. It's a little child spoon, little silver-plated spoon, and it's decorative on the end. I'm gonna be able to get maybe a maker's mark off of that. That's kind of cool. I can't tell exactly what's in. Looks like it's got like a little cross or something on the top there, right on the left-hand side. But hey, cool, a little child spoon from back in the 1800s or maybe early 1900s. This site was here until about 1910, but it was way back in the 1850s, if not earlier. So there'll be a little bit of cross-contamination of mid-20th or early 20th century stuff perhaps, but there will also be certainly potential for 1800 stuff. So let's go find something else, guys. On to the next find. Alright guys, it's been about 20 minutes since I found that little spoon, and it's actually got the name Claire Barton on it, so it's pretty cool. I'll have to clean it up and show you what it is. I moved on to the backyard. It's been about, again, 20 minutes. There's so many iron targets right around the lip of the cellar hole, I would need a really small 4-inch coil to get anything in there. So I'm about 30 yards behind the hole. Let me show you what my next find is, and it's pretty cool. Let me pan around here for you. And it's right down in here. And this is a sweet one. I've never found one this big. Look at that. Great Seal button. Let me see if I can get it. It's a little bit dented in, but it's a big coat button. See that? It's bigger than a lot of them, and it's actually even got a little piece of the little wire or something there that attached it on the back. 2-piece. Again, this is going to be World War I. This house was not here during World War II. I mean, you know, you never know. It could be a World War II soldier walking through here and hunting, but I doubt it. But anyway, 1902 to probably 1916, something like that, because that's after that this house is gone. Very sweet find. All right, let's go find some more stuff, guys. On to the next find. Well, here we are back again. I'm just working the old road here. It's going kind of slow today after that spoon and that Great Seal button and the walking cane tip. I did get this though, and let me show you. It's always fun to find these. Look at that. Got an old Rains guide. This one's a little different. It's got kind of a, you know, a little bit of a different pattern to it. I'll have to clean that up and take a look at it. Very nice. Nice old Rains guide from the 1800s, maybe very early 1900s. All right, guys, let's find a few more things before I head out of here. Well, this one's kind of weird. Sometimes you never know in the hobby of metal detecting, but in that last find, I just found that Rains guide. So I was walking back out toward the car because I'm getting ready to head back home here in the next half hour. And there's another old cellar hole off to the side of the road here that I've hit a couple times before and I found a few things at. So I kind of walked off to the side toward the creek and look what I found. This is really ironic. Right down in here. Check that out, another Rains guide. Not sure if that one looks a little more modern than the other one I just found because it's got a little bit more of a standard kind of common feel to it, but I don't know. Late 1800s, early 1900s, something like that. It's not as ornate as something colonial, but heck, I'll take it. 2 Rains guides for one trip down here to the forest. So let's see if we can find a few more things as I walk out. I'll get back with you if I find anything else. All right, folks. Well, I just got off work this morning. I came out to the old Burlington City Park where I've come to a couple times before. And I just had a feeling I was going to get lucky today. I don't know why. Sometimes you feel that way. I literally came in, walked in on the first part of the bridle trail here, put my coil to the ground, and I'll show you what I found here. Crazy. I literally turned the machine on, and I took about 5 swipes. So let me show you. Yeah, this park's old, so you can find some old stuff. I don't think this is old, but look at that. I think I got myself a silver toe ring. Or silver ring. Crazy. And that's how deep it was, so it's not going to be old. It's a modern ring, but is that crazy? I don't know if that's could be platinum or tungsten or something like that, but it looks like it's silver. It rang up really high, so I'll get it cleaned up and give you a better shot here in a minute. Awesome start to the day. 5 minutes here, not even. All right, on to the next find. Okay, you see that, guys? That's a big horned owl sitting up there in the tree. See if I can zoom in on him. Not sure if I can get a good shot. He's looking right at me right now. He flew right over my head. Very cool. Always good to find cool things in nature when you're out in the woods metal detecting. And there he is, or maybe it's a female. Seems pretty safe. I'm pretty far below it, so interesting little find though. Alright, let's go find something good, guys. On to the next. Well, here we are, guys, in our next find. I apologize for the wind here. It's crazy right on the lake shore, but I'm kind of walking down by the water level because the lake's been really low the last 4 or 5 months here up in the Burlington area, and so we're down about a couple of feet. So I was thinking maybe I could find something that's been in the water for a while. People haven't come out and detected it. Let me show you what I found. This is really cool. An old padlock from like maybe, I'm not sure, probably the 1920s or 30s, something like that. I'll have to see if I can get a maker's mark. It looks pretty generic, but that's definitely looks like an older style lock. So that's very cool. Something from the earlier half of the 20th century. This is a very popular vacation spot down here on the shore as well, so people have been here for a long time. All right, let's see if I can find a few other things, guys. On to the next find. Okay, we're back into the Relic Shack, everybody, and let me go through the paper towel wrap-up for the last few finds here you saw in the video. I'll just kind of do a brief rundown on what you saw. I dug a bunch of junk too, and I'm not going to show that, including some clad as well. No silver coins or really old coins this time. I did find one wheat penny, like a 1948 or something like that. But anyway, let's go through some of the stuff I found real quickly here. Again, as you saw in the one video, I believe this is a tip of a cane, a walking cane. I guess you could make the case it's the tip of a parasol, like the top of an old parasol, because it does have a wood, like dowel or a wooden part in there, but I think it's too thick for that. I'm going to guess without a maker's mark or any unidentifiable marks, it's just the bottom of a cane, and that broke off. So that was kind of cool. I kept that. I got my 2 buttons here. This one, it's got some writing on it, something like gold gilt or treble gilt on there, and it's got that fancy like floral pattern of cursive text on there. Some of you may have found the old 1800s buttons like that. This is the one-piecers, so if you find these, remember these are like at least for Vermont history, late 1700s to about 1840, probably early to mid 1800s. This is one of the better finds, obviously, of the last few hunts. A Great Seal coat button, World War I, based off the age of the site, in pretty good shape. I mean, I was able to take a little Brillo and wipe it right off. It's a little dented. The maker's mark on back, it says made in England and something New York City Button Company, and I looked online and I could not find any references to that maker on what the exact dates of when they made these buttons. But it did say made in England, It's 1902 to about World War I, somewhere in that era. So very nice find. I've got my two Rains guides here. This is the older of the two, probably more like middle 1800s to late 1800s, something like that. They tended to be a little more decorative early on. This is a more standard variety, probably late 1800s, even all the way up to the early 1900s. You can make the case, 1915 even up to 1920. But the dates of the home sites were a little older, so I'm going to guess more like turn of the century or something like that. But still, those are always cool to find, those old rain guides. I've got my spoon here. This was really cool. As you saw in the close-up shot, it's a Clara Barton Red Cross Society spoon, and you can actually see the face of Clara Barton there in the spoon bowl. And those are really cool. Still trying to find an actual date on when these were made. There is a maker's mark on back, but it's so faint I can't make it out. Based off the age of the site, turn of the century, something like that. Very nice. And the cursive writing tends to give you the key away too. When you look at these type of old items, when you see the writing that's a little bit more decorative on there and has some kind of a pattern on there like that, they tend to be a little bit later dated as opposed to earlier part of the 1800s. And again, the Clara Barton Society was late 1800s onward anyway. So I want to say about turn of the century, but still a really cool find. Like a medicinal spoon or a child spoon. And then the last two finds, I've got my ring here. This is a silver little ring, very light, only a couple grams, but it is silver. You can't make it out on my camera, but it does say 925 in there. And that was an amazing find, as you saw. I mean, I really walked into the bar, turned my machine on, and bam, found that. So that's always a cool thing to find, any kind of modern bling. And then finally, my old lock, and this is probably, I think, my best find if I had to rate them all. The spoon and the button are also very cool, but this is, it's hard to make out the maker's mark here, or it may be on this side, but this is the Eagle Lock Corporation, or Eagle Lock Company, that was started way back in the 1800s, and they actually were in business all the way up into about 1975 before they went out of business. But this is the old flat type shank, so I knew it was older, and I did some brief research, and this is Victorian era to maybe the first decade of the 20th century. So I'm going to say 1880s to 1910 on this. You can barely make out Eagle Lock on there. And I did some online research and was able to get an approximate date. There's a few online that are similar made. So that's an old Victorian era lock found down there on the shore of Lake Champlain. And I'm going to go back along that Lake Champlain area because there's a lot of exposed beach down there where the lake's so low, and you may be able to get some other cool things in there if I just had some more time. The day I was out on that day when I found this, it was pretty raw and windy, and I kind of skedaddled out of there. But anyway, there you go. There's some finds from the last couple hunts I did late October into the first part of November here. We're getting into mid-November here, and I may have another hunt or two in me, but cold weather's on the move fast, and my time's going to be running out. So hopefully I'll be back with you with another video and share some finds with you. But until next time, happy hunting. Get out there and dig it all up. It's out there waiting for you to find. This is BTV Digger.